Okay, this is a quick overview to ETCAI's Solid State Challenge. And today we're going to look at basic diode testing. So go ahead and launch the application. Here's your overview, your reminder of what a diode is, and how we can use an ohm meter to check to see if that diode is good. And so I'm going to go ahead and begin the application, and I'll explain the test that way. So the objective here is to find out if the diode in front of you is good and which side of it is the cathode, which side of it is the anode. You can have a defective diode with a low resistance in both directions. Basically our diode is shorted out. You can have a defective diode that is open, and if that's the case, you're going to have high resistance like we have on the ohm meter right now. That doesn't mean it's bad though. It would read that on both directions if it was open. Or you have your good diode, and your good diode is going to show a forward bias reading that has a low resistance to it and a reverse bias reading with high resistance. And depending where your positive probe is, that's going to determine where the anode is, and your negative probe would be on the cathode. So with this situation here, let's go ahead and switch the diodes. So right now this is either reverse bias or it is an open diode. So let's just switch our diodes and find out. So we switch the probes there. I'm sorry, I meant to say switch the probes. We switch the probes and you see that there was no change in the reading, which means we have an open diode here. We have an infinite resistance. So this is a bad diode. Okay, so we'll go ahead and check that here and grade that. Now let's take a look at the next one here. Again, possibility it could be reverse bias right now. Let's just flip it around and see what you get. Okay, flip it around and you do have that low resistance. So the black probe, the negative probe, is always the cathode side of our diode. So in this situation, we have a good diode, and it is the left lead that's the cathode. So we're going to check that. And let's look at our next problem here. In this situation, we get an identical reading. I don't have to do anything here because I have a normal reading here. So again, this is a good diode, and the left lead is the cathode. And we'll do another one. Okay, this one, we're looking at an LED, a light emitting diode. It's going to behave exactly the same way. And in this case, it could be reverse bias, or let's switch our probes. Well, in this case, we have an open defective diode because we have no change in infinite resistance. So that is defective and open. I'm hoping to get a shorted one here in a minute, but it doesn't look like we got one here. So let's switch our probes. Okay, so the negative is on the left side. That means that's the cathode. So we have a good diode. Left lead is the cathode. And our next problem here. Okay, so here's one that's shorted. Look at this. We have a very low reading in here. Okay, this is a shorted diode. I really don't have to do anything further with my test because of this low reading. But I will flip the leads just so you see. And again, it's shorted. You got that same low reading, low resistance in both directions. So it's a defective diode. So I think now you should have a good overview of what you're looking at in the diode testing. You just simply switching the leads here. It's a pretty simple activity. You know, this one here, our cathode is on our left side, and so we got a good left side cathode. So you just continue with that. Do all 11 of them. Print your grade certificate out and turn that in. Good luck.